What's up, YouTube? I'm out here hanging with my goats, recovering from the race I just did this past weekend, the Georgia Jewel 100-miler. It was my personal record at 21 hours and I think 10 or 11 minutes. I got second place, and I wanted to share with you guys how I set a new PR in the 100-mile distance. I've been running a long time. I want to share these things with you because I think they're going to make you a faster runner or a faster racer, and they're extremely easy to apply if you commit to them. All right, there's basically three things. Now, most of the advice you're going to get around becoming a faster runner or a faster racer is all going to revolve around your training and the miles that you run. I'm not minimizing training here. You have to show up on race day ready to rock and roll. You have to train. There's no getting around it, right? But there are periods in our lives where we're not able to put in a specific training block, or maybe you are just kind of you don't have the traditional build of a runner. Maybe you're a little big boned, but you still want to run and race and be competitive. I think you can do that with a good base of fitness. Going into the Georgia Jewel, I didn't train specifically for it. I didn't taper for it. I didn't do any of that. I just applied these three things and they worked out and allowed me to set a new PR, which is pretty awesome. So the first one was I committed to never sitting down for the entire race. Now that was a game changer for me. This is the first time I've done this in the 100-mile distance. My crew had a chair for me there every time at an aid station. I never used it, never sat down. And I think what that did for me, it kept me on my feet. It didn't allow my legs to stiffen up. It didn't allow me to get comfortable and cozy. And it got me in and out of the aid stations extremely fast, all right? Which leads into my second goal I had for this race, was to have less than 10 minutes of stop time for the duration of the race. So that's in 21 hours, I wanted to have less than 10 minutes of time that I was actually standing still. That was a total game changer. You don't realize how much time you waste standing around in aid stations. It took some preparation. I had to go through the processes with my crew about what I wanted to do when I got in there and what I needed and how to get out. I had all that written down so that when I came into an aid station, I think every single time I was definitely under 2 minutes. They were keeping time. Most of the time I was in and out of there in a minute and 10 seconds, all right? So didn't sit down, got out of the aid station in about a minute and a half or less every single time. And the third one was I wanted to finish strong at this race. Doing a 100-miler, man, traditionally there will be some spots on the course where you can blow your load, man. If you get into a nice runnable area, and in the Georgia Jewel, it's specifically the Dry Creek area, it's super runnable. It's about halfway, and I've ran this race 2 times before. You get down in there in Dry Creek and you start running fast because the terrain's nice and easy, and you leave out of there and you got 40 miles left to go, and you just finish really crappy, right? Because you run too fast down there at that halfway point. So finishing strong required me to really measure my effort, especially through those runnable sections, and to pay attention. And at times, even though I could run faster, I would hold back on the pace because I knew that there was some hard terrain once I left that area and headed out to the finish line. And let me tell you, it felt amazing to be able to pass people and to finish strong through the end of that race. That's the first time I've ever been able to do that. Usually the last 20 miles of that race is a slog. And it just took me really paying attention to my pace and measuring my effort. I think if you keep these three simple things in the forefront of your mind, You may not be the best runner. You may not be in the best shape potentially. You may not necessarily be built for running, but if you'll apply these 3 things and keep them in the forefront of your mind, you are probably going to be 100%. You're going to be able to be way more competitive than you are right now, and you may actually be able to win a race. All right. So again, don't sit down. You don't need to sit down. Stay on your feet. You're not going to stiffen up. You're going to feel better in the long run. Minimize your stop time. Have a plan. Try to get in and out of those aid stations in less than a minute and a half. And make all your decisions based around your ability to finish strong. All right? It takes some maturity to do these things. I think the 250-mile race that I ran a month ago, the Cocodona 250, matured me significantly as a runner. And this Georgia Jewel race was the most perfectly executed race that I've ever done in my whole life. And I wanted to share those 3 things with you guys, again, to help you if you want to be more competitive at your race or your next race. So, love you guys. Hope you got something out of this. I'll talk to y'all, I don't know, next time I freaking see you here on YouTube. Enough said.